Right, Shalom Israel. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakatam to all the brothers. Yahweh Hashem Ma'alatan Ba'asham Yahushai to all the sisters. Peace and Officer prayer of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. In this school, it is the truth. What is the truth? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are part of the 12 lost tribe of the nation of Israel. And this Bible is your history. This Bible contains the records of your forefathers, of things that they left for you, because you so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man are supposed to be the rulers of this earth. But of course, we understand that we are not in rulership position right now. And what we have to know is that this Bible definitely belongs to you. This Bible is alive, contrary to what Christians may think, contrary to what they may do. Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, this is your book. Before we get into tonight's class, right? Of course, we have a school right in Trinidad located in Point Fortin, like pool number 1, right? That is in Morris Street in Point Fortin, or anybody within the Point Fortin area close by. It is right by Wasak, right? The road inside by Wasak, Morris Street. Yeah, you see the big sign on the glass, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That is the school in Point Fortin. Of course, the man above me, right? It is Officer I.S.U.P.K. If you have any information, if you want to know any information, you can contact him at 479-8286. Right? Captain over here is Captain Mashak Mayam. If you want to ask any questions, you want to get queries, of course you can get him also on WhatsApp, which is his number is 1202-701-4640. Right? And for some reason, as I always say in every class, if you can't get through with nobody, you can contact me, inbox me on any one of the social media, right? Officer Matwaya 1_1W on all social media networks, right? You can catch me there, send my message in the inbox. I'll carry it up the chain of command, and you will get your answers where necessary, right? We have the next upcoming holy convocation, right? The upcoming high holy day, which the Lord gives to us, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. These are the things that we, as a people, supposed to be celebrating. Yes, we know Christmas coming up, but we as a people, the Lord tells us that we're not supposed to be celebrating these holidays, the traditions of men. We're supposed to be celebrating the Lord's high holy days, right? The next high holy day coming up is on December the 25th. That high holy day is the feast of dedication, or what we will call in the Hebrew Hanukkah, right? You can find that in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52-61. Yes, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, these records is for you. Tonight we're going to go, just now, Salapia, 1 minute, let me just reset this now. Tonight we're going to go into the class. The name of the class is A Common Enemy, and life is about war. Because of course, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, we don't understand who our enemy is as a people. We push our door, we look out through our windows, we look at our neighbors, and we believe for some reason they are your enemy, right? But of course, so-called black man, you must understand, you have to understand that that man that you see, that black man looking just like you, he is not your enemy, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. If these brothers up in Silots and Mover and John and on the beat could understand that, you're going to at least see these places starting to change. But of course, religious leaders, they don't know how to guide the so-called black man. They don't know how to give them the records that their forefathers left for them, which is in this Bible. You understand? What they concentrate on is the lust of their body, the lust of their flesh, and not concentrating on what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need in their communities. What they need within themselves, what they need to know, according to the records of their forefathers. You understand? Because of course, Christians, one thing Christians do is create Christians and religious leaders, people in high position. You understand? All these politicians, what they do, they create a snake, a psychological snake for the so-called black man. And in that psychological snare, the black man will look at his own brother and think he is the enemy. When they don't understand who it is really coming from, which is the so-called white man. You understand? The devil that the Bible speaks of. And when you open this Bible and you start to read, you're going to see the destructiveness that these so-called Edomites, as it is recorded in the Bible, which is the white people. You understand? The Caucasian race. You're going to see the destruction that these people have done to your people, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You're going to see who they also got to go over you, so-called black man, to rule over you and to continue keeping you in oppression. These are the things that your religious leaders, politicians, your imams, those that claim to be the shepherds to rule over black people, these are the things that they're supposed to be bringing out to show you. But of course, these religious leaders are starting to fill their pockets, fill their belly, fill their lust, and continue on their agenda, which is the agenda of the so-called white man, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, right? So today we're going to get into the class. The name of the class is A Common Enemy, right? Before we start, one thing you must know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, that in all these Christian churches, we have a video to show also, right? And I want the viewers to watch this video and try to understand what's really happening to the so-called black man in these Christian churches. And I know by now most people see what's happening with TD Jakes right now. To me, that is just child's play. But these religious leaders, they are going to get their judgment for leading the Lord's people astray. You understand? And most of them already start to realize, hey, it's coming down. So you know what they start to do? They start to fake sick. You understand? Or the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. This is what we have to understand, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Coming to the realization of who you are, coming to the realization that the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth, you're going to understand that there is only one body. That one body is in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. Let me get the scripture, right? Salaki, hold 1 minute, Baba Kushar. Next. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you're going to understand that coming into the Lord's sanctuary, coming into the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA, listening to the priests and prophets on the streets, listening to the things that they have to tell you, you're going to understand that there's only one body. Contrary to what these Christian churches do, you have Pentecostal, you have Baptists, you have Ethiopian Orthodox, you have Hindus, you have Muslims. There's only one body. You understand? Let me go to the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 4. Let me start there, right? Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 4. There is one body, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. When you read the scriptures, when you read this scripture, you're going to understand that there's only one body. That body is in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. There is no other body that is going to teach so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian the truth according to the Bible. One body, the I.S.U.P.K. They are the authorized people to teach you the truth according to the scriptures, according to the Bible, according to the records of your forefathers. And one spirit. You have to understand, so-called black man, Native Indian man, and Hispanic man, that there's only one spirit. When you look at the Christian church, you're going to see where all these different churches, they teach all different type of things. They are not under one spirit. You understand? They are not under one spirit. In the I.S.U.P.K, there's only one spirit, and that spirit is the spirit of warfare. Because so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you have to fight. What you have to understand, you have to fight to change yourself. You have to fight. If you're smoking cigarettes, into gangbanging, into hoes, you have to fight to keep away from these things and gravitate to what the Lord wants you to gravitate to, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You have to fight. In the Christian church, you have to fight to get out. Fight and not turn back to the world. Once you start understanding the things in these scriptures, so-called black man. Because of course you're going to learn a lot of different things. Things that the Christian church is not going to teach you. Christmas coming up, you're going to learn so-called black man that you're not supposed to be celebrating Christmas. Not supposed to be celebrating your birthday. You're not supposed to be celebrating Easter. You're not supposed to be taking tattoos and markups, what we will call shape-ups. You're not supposed to be doing this thing, so-called black man. You understand? So now you have to fight to keep the traditions of your forefathers, to keep the traditions of what the Lord laid for you, so-called black man. Right? Even as you are called in the hope of your calling. What is the hope of your calling? The truth. You understand? The oracles of the Bible. As the Lord had said, just paraphrasing, he said, look, I come in the volume of this book, all these things, all these laws, commandments, and statutes that he give you. You understand? That is what you have to follow. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Verse 5, one Lord. You know Buddha, you know Allah, you know Yeshua. You understand? It's nothing like that. One Lord. You understand? And the Lord's name is Yahweh in the Hebrew. Because of course we have Hebrew classes, we teach Hebrew classes also to those that new that might be looking in. You understand? One. You understand? This is what you have to understand, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Yahweh is his name in the Hebrew. One Lord. Right? Continuing. One faith. You understand? Only one doctrine supposed to be taught to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Because of course, if you didn't know, this Bible is not for everybody. This Bible is only for the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Anybody want to challenge it? Feel free. You understand? That is why the so-called white man was able to remove the Apocrypha from the Bible so that the black man would not continue in his history. He wouldn't continue in his heritage. Because he knows this book is for you. And he knows once you start reading this book, you're going to realize the people that you are, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. And of course, this is why we say the I.S.U.P.K is a school. This is a school, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This school is only for black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people because we are all one body. We are all one people. You understand? Continuing. And one baptism. Because of course, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you think that baptism is when you go to church, the pastor dipping water in a tub in the church, or you go down to the beach, you understand? And they dip it 3 times in the water, you think that is baptism. That is not baptism, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. The Lord is telling you here, one baptism, and that is the only way that so-called black, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man is going to be clean. Through that one baptism. You understand? What is that one baptism, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man? What is that one way that you get clean? You get clean through the washing of the water of the word, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You can find that, of course, in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. You understand? We get one time. Book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water of the word. You understand? This is how we clean our people, by the oracles of the Lord, by this word. Giving them the things that they're supposed to know. Giving them the things that we know that they don't understand. You understand? Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, it's time for you to understand that there is a common enemy. That enemy do not want you to know who you are. don't want you to understand who your forefathers are, the things that your forefathers did. He do not want you to understand who you are. He do not want you to know your culture and your history. Because what you don't understand, so-called black man, the white man, right, which is the devil the Bible speaks of, the most subtle beast in the field, as the Bible shows, he wants you to remain under his oppression. That is what the white man wants for you, so-called black man, but the Lord don't have it so for you. He wants you to remain under oppression. He wants you to remain under his feet. So there are things that you should know. But of course, when we are caught up in all different religions, and we are caught up in things that is not pleasing to the Lord, we would not understand who we are. We would not understand our culture. We would not understand the things that the Lord wants for us as a people. But of course, as we always say, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding Gen.YAHANNA, is here for you, so-called black man. It's here for you, so-called Native Indian man. You understand? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9. You understand? Let's start understanding the so-called white man. Let's start understanding that enemy. So now when you get up in the morning and you push your door, you're going to know that that so-called neighbor, that black man that you're watching, in Sikh gang and in Rasta gang and in Muslim gang, he is not your enemy. And of course, we're going to play the video and you're going to see the subtlety of that enemy. You understand? Let's go to the book of Psalms. Psalms 119 and verse, we will start at verse 9, right? Book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. This is how so-called black man is going to cleanse his way. This is how the so-called ghettos will start changing, by taking heed to the word of the Lord, by taking heed to the prophets, priests and prophets that is seen on the streets. You understand? Not by following after these religious pastors, not by following after these imams, not by following after religion in the Horatians and in the Baptists and in the Pentecostal. The Lord is saying that in order for our people to change, in order for a young man and young woman ways to be cleansed, they have to take heed to the word according to the word so-called black man. So when the Lord says don't eat pork, crab, shrimp and lobster, start cleaning yourself. Don't be adulterer, start cleaning yourself. You understand? Thou shalt not kill, which is murder, start cleaning yourself. So-called black man, Hispanic man and Native Indian man. Lord wants us to be a separate people. He wants us to be a holy people unto himself. But if we continue not following the ways of the Most High, we will not be a people unto the Lord. We will be a people mixed into all these other nations, into all their ways, into all their traditions, into their culture. You understand? And the black man would not be able to find his culture, because of course the Christian church is not teaching the black man his culture. It's not teaching the black man the things that he's supposed to know. It's not teaching the black man how to navigate in this world. You understand? Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you must take heed to the word of the Most High. And when you watch, just now we go play the video, when you watch this video, and you start analyzing the white man, you start analyzing the things that, the subtle things that he does do, you're going to see and understand the minds of our people. You're going to start understanding how far our people is from really knowing who they are, from really understanding the way that they're supposed to treat one another, the way that we're supposed to gather ourselves together, our nation, not desire, as the scriptures have said. Because we are confused. We are confused not knowing who we are. We are confused not knowing our culture. We are confused not knowing our history. You understand? We are confused not knowing who the enemy is. which is of utmost importance to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You understand? Let me keep going on. Let me go to the book of Micah chapter 2, chapter 3, Salakia. Right? We go into the book of Micah chapter 3, and we're going to start at, let me start at verse 1. Right? Hold on. Right? Salakia, we will skip that. Let me go to Isaiah. We'll go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. Right? Okay. Let me go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. Because, of course, this is the position that the religious leaders put themselves in. You understand? They're not feeding the Lord's people. They're not showing the Lord's people that path or that direction that they're supposed to go in. They're not showing the Lord's people the way that they're supposed to change, to be able to change their communities, to be able to change their ghettos, to be able to change themselves. You understand? Book of Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 16. Right? It's saying, for the leaders of this people cause them to err. What does that mean? The leaders of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all those religious leaders, all those politicians, they cause blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to err. They cause them to err. You understand? They put up stumbling blocks for the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You understand? Because they are the ones supposed to be guiding. They're saying that they are the authority. They say that they are the authority. They hold in the Bible and say, this is me, I am the authority. But they're causing black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people to err, not showing them the things that they're supposed to know. Not showing them the identity, not showing them the culture, not showing them who the enemies is, not showing them the things that they're supposed to do to come out of the conditions that they're in, not showing them World War III is on the horizon. They cause our people to err. That is why, like when you see Christmas coming, you see everybody running down wild meat. You understand? You're seeing how black people, they celebrating birthdays and Christmas and Easter. And running after the gods of these other nations. Because these religious leaders are not showing them their God. They come and they give us this white image, the image of Cesar Borgia. You understand? And we worship that, thinking that that is our power. Thinking that that is where our hope lies in. These leaders causing black people to err. Let me continue. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that lead them, Salakia, and they that are led of them are destroyed, and we become that destroyed people. You understand? We become destroyed because we don't know nothing. We don't know who we are. We don't know our identity. We don't know our culture. We don't know the war tactics of the so-called white man, who is the oppressor, who is the devil the Bible speaks of. We don't understand the war tactics of these other nations, and of course, when you say nations, you're going to understand that it means races in the Bible. We don't understand these things, these subtle things. And we run out like headless chicken, thinking we know, thinking we understand. You understand what I'm saying? When you have not been taught, so-called black man, by priests and prophets of the Lord. You have not been taught by the men in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA, because we flee under every other doctrine. When you have to now hold up, say, wait, hold up. Let me really start examining this thing properly. Let me clear the noise from around. You understand? And really start observing these other nations. Let me really start observing the oppressor. Because of course, so-called black man, what you're going to see in a minute is that the oppressor is watching you. He is studying you. And he knows exactly what to do to make you stumble against your God, to make you stumble against your power, to make you continually be at the bottom of society and not even thinking, oh wait, you know it have a way out. You know it have a way out for black people to come out of this oppression. You know it have a way out for we to rise, to be the people that the Lord wants us to be. We're not studying that because we are continually oppressed by the so-called white man. You understand? The Lord say, our leaders, they cause us the error. And the leaders that leading black people is leading us to destruction. Because we rather put our trust in the politicians, we rather put our trust in the religious leaders, we rather put our trust in Egypt, where the Lord deliver us from. That house of bondage, we rather put our trust in the house of bondage. You understand? But of course, we in the I.S.U.P.K, we understand why our people are destroyed. Right in the Bible. We understand why it will take a little while for our people to come out. Because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We don't know the tactics of the white man. We don't know that we have a common enemy. We knows nothing about war or warfare. Not even a little bit. You understand? We don't understand. Every day you wake up, you have to fight. Because from the time you get this knowledge of the truth, from the time you get to understand that Christ was not a white man, he's a black man, shit, you gotta fight. You have to fight. Because something is coming to take that black man out of your brain and slip back in the white man. You're fighting to stop smoking cigarettes because you realize, hey, the Lord say, no smoking. You understand? I think it's in the book of Ezekiel, where we as a people, we're not supposed to be smoking. From the time you understand you have to stop smoking, or stop eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, or stop doing the abominable that the Lord does not want us to do as a people, something coming to take that away from the so-called black man. That is why we say life is about hope. Everything you're getting, to everything you're doing, to everything you know, you have to fight. You know what the Christians think? Christians think that, you know, all right, we come to serve the Lord, serve the pastor, glory, hallelujah, and they're not seeing to every other thing in life you have to fight. And fight with your job, you fight to buy a house, you have to fight to buy a car, you have to fight to get finances up. You understand? But somehow, when it comes to the Lord, do I do not. Not so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Indian man. We have to fight. You understand? One of the steps are beginning to fight is understanding who the enemy is. That common enemy that all of us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are supposed to have. Then you'll understand, hey, time to fight. You understand? Because we don't see the destructive nature that the white man has. When our people put on spirit or put on that covering of the so-called white man, they become destructive to their own. You understand? So we go in again. Psalms 83, right? We're going to go to Psalms, book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Right? We're going to start at the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. This is David, right? He's saying, keep not thou silence, O Lord. David was a man after the Lord heart, after the Lord mind. This is part of what we have to strive for. Strive to understand the Most High mind. Try to understand wisdom. Try to understand knowledge. You can't get that when you're outside it. You can't get that when you're outside in the world. You can't get the knowledge of the Most High once you stick between the Christian church or the Muslim mosque and the Most High's ways. You understand? His knowledge is higher than any other knowledge on the planet Earth. Higher than any other wisdom on the planet Earth. Because we have to understand the so-called white man. They have our records. They use our records against us. You understand? How to deal with people. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, it's time to fight. David is saying in the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1, keep not thou silence, O Lord, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God, because of course David is watching the problems that his people is going through. And he's telling the Most High, don't be silent. That's telling you something. That's telling you that the Most High does take a turn in people AWS. You understand? He does bring down judgment on people, on nations. Lord, David is saying, keep not thou silence, O Lord, and hold not thy peace, and be still, O Lord. He is saying, for look, thine enemies, which let you know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, there is an enemy. He is saying, thine enemies make a tumult. The Lord enemies make a tumult, they make a gathering. And the Lord enemies, so-called black man, is your enemy. Your enemies make a tumult, they make a gathering. You understand? And he said, and they that hate thee, of course, Lord's enemies, they hate him. They hate the Most High. You think they're going to like you? You think they're going to like your nation? Then you have to sit down and examine that properly. If you're saying the Most High have enemies, and they hate the Most High. But the Most High is saying that he have a special people, a holy people, a people unto himself. Then they're going to understand they're going to hate you too, so-called black man. And then they're going to start setting up snares because they could see you. They're going to start setting up snares and traps, stumbling blocks for the so-called black man. You understand? He's saying, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, they make a gathering, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. These other nations, these other races, they begin to get proud. You understand? Because they know that they could overthrow the so-called black man. We're going to go into some more scriptures for you to understand. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. On the video, you're going to see so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You have to sit down. Of course, I'll be posting it on the pages as well, but you have to really sit down and watch that video to start to begin to understand crafty counsel of these other nations. It's not just only putting guns on the block or weed on the block. You understand? It's not only that. Of course, that is part of their counsel also. They're dropping things in the black community and have the black man destroying himself because it have many things the black man don't understand. We're so oppressed. We're so poor, we're so low down that the most we could do for the moment is study to eat. But there's more than just eating, so-called black man. And in the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to teach you your rich culture, your rich history. We're going to show you the wiles of the enemy. We're going to show you, so-called black man, how to build yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. We're going to give you your culture back just like the Most High wants you to have it, so-called black man. The Lord is saying they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who is that people that these other nations, these other races have taken crafty counsel against? It's you, so-called black man. That is why you are at the bottom of society. You are working all the menial jobs. You understand? You are the last hired, the first Salakia, the last hired, first fired. You are the ones that when all these different programs come out, even for the youths, even for adults, you are the last to know. And then when you look to sign up because you know you're trying to change your life, you're trying to be better, you're trying to come out of the situation in, you're not realizing these other nations, they have you where they want you. That don't mean they're not supposed to try, because of course, just like the class title, so-called black man, you have to fight. You understand? There's what we're teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian man. You have to go with guns blazing. You understand? You don't have to go and unalive the other nations. Nah. The Lord give you forefathers, He give you prophets of old. Record your history in this Bible, your culture. Record wisdom and understanding. The things that Solomon prayed for, to be able to rule his people, and not rule his people with a rod of iron, but to be able to make clear judgments. Till the Queen of Sheba from another nation had to come to learn from him, to learn from your people, to learn from your forefathers. Even in the scriptures, just paraphrasing, they say, these other nations will say, surely this people is a wise and understanding people. Time is coming, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, where these other nations is going to say, surely blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they are a wise and understanding people. Because they're going to see the things that you're going to do. It's not like what the oppressor is doing, you so-called black man. It's not like what the white man doing you. It's not like what the East Indians and the Chinese and the Syrians is doing you. But when your religious leaders cause you to error, cause you to stumble, play all these psychological games on you, so-called black man, they wouldn't know what to turn. They wouldn't know what to go to. So now, you know what you have to do? Just go through the motion. Go through the motion and just take abuse from the so-called white man, but not anymore so-called black man. The Lord say your teachers, your prophets is not in a corner anymore. The so-called black, Hispanic man and Native Indian man, which is one family, your teachers are out on the street corners. We are in classes every day teaching you the truth according to the Bible. Teaching you, so-called black man, that you are part of the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You know one thing that makes people reject the Bible? One thing that makes the people reject the Bible is these Christian leaders, these preachers. You know why black people reject the Bible? Because the things that these religious leaders do, and they have the Bible holding in their hand. They claim to say, hey, I representing God. But when you look, it's the most subtle evils they do. You understand? I'm not going to show the scripture and then we're going to go to the video because I want all of you to see this video. Because there are many other accounts right here in Trinidad, worse yet, global, where all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are scattered. But one thing you will understand is that the I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with none of these religious groups or organizations. We are different. In here, you can leave your children with brothers and sisters. You're sure they're not going to get molested. You're sure you're not going to see no pedophilia ring in this organization. You're sure you're not going to hear another man sleeping with another man's wife, committing adultery, because we follow after Christ. We follow the things that is written in this Bible. We follow the things that our forefathers say, hey, these are the things that the Lord wants you to follow. But out there, the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, not following the Bible. They claim to represent Christ, but they're not following the things that Christ said that black people are supposed to be following, Hispanic people are supposed to be following, and Native Indian people are supposed to be following. Let me continue. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who is the hidden ones? You so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, because he was taken from West Africa, scattered to the four corners of the earth, which is biblical prophecy. You were scattered to the four corners of the earth, you become the hidden ones, because nobody knows who the black man is. Asking me nationality, I black, I Trinidadian, I African, but really and truly so-called black man, you are a Jew by blood. According to the biblical records, you are a Jew, not those people in Israel who came there in 1948. You understand? No, not them. Not them with the black hats and the little squiggly pigtail on the side of their head. They are not the real Jews. You understand? You, so-called black man, are the real Jew. You are of a royal blood. You are of a royal priesthood. You understand? And Trinidad and Grenada and Venezuela and Barbados, these places is not your homeland. Scriptures say, paraphrasing again, that Jerusalem, which is above us all, is free. They say Jerusalem is the mother of us all. That is our homeland, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. That is where the black man came from. But who is teaching the black man that? And then you're going to see all these black men. Watch how much murders that have in Trinidad right now. You understand? Cross 500 going up the road because they don't know who they are. They don't know their nationality. Constant oppression from the so-called white man and these other races, the subtle oppression, keeps them killing out themselves because they don't understand that their life would more than just what they get up during the course of the day and see. Their life would more than that. When these brothers in the ghetto get up, going about the daily life, and they might see someone on TV, you know, the church, and put your hand on the screen, as a black man, you're not going through that. This is not the spirit of black people to put a hand on the screen and get no healing. You have to come out here and fight. You have to do. The Lord said, if you love me, keep my commandments. This is what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have to do. The Lord didn't say, if you love me, put your hand on the screen. He didn't say, if you love me, to go to church. He didn't say, if you love me, to let the Jehovah's Witness come and give a prayer and a sermon. The Lord said, if you love me, so-called black man, keep my commandments. We have high holy days to keep. We have feast days to keep. We have day of atonement to keep. You understand? We have his laws. Don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Stop celebrating these holidays of the world, because these holidays of the world is traditions of men. This is not of the Lord. Your religious leader is not going in this Bible. He is not going into this Bible. He is not going into this Bible and open it and show you, hey, this is what the Lord said to do. Sit down good. I challenge anybody watching. Sit down good and watch these religious leaders teach when they're having this sermon. You will see a whole hour pass without pulling out a scripture. All they're doing, paraphrasing. That is all they're doing. And Jesus said, and the Lord said, and from the minute you challenge your religious leader, what does this mean? Trust me, you're going to be out the church faster than it does on the ground. You're going to be out that Christian church faster than it does on the ground. Because you can't challenge a Christian, right? You're mad? He's the man in authority. You have to sit there and listen. You can't ask no question. From the minute you start asking questions, you're going to see something totally different than a religious leader. You're going to see something totally different than a human. But in here, ask questions like you're going mad. All the council lines are open because we have council lines. You understand? Ask questions like it going mad. We have officers, we have captains, we have different rank system. Ask your questions. Ask any question. You're going to get them answered according to the Bible. Not according to white thing or a book that Juanita Bynum read and write, or T.D. Jakes write. Not according to them garbage. According to what inside this book. You understand? Let me continue. Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You have to realize you was a tribal nation. These other nations, they took crafty counsel upon themselves and they said, hey, see them black people, they're just like in Egypt. When we was in Egypt, you understand, and the new Pharaoh arrived, he said, you see, before them start to multiply and get greater than we, figure us labor. You understand? You have to understand that so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. These other nations have taken crafty counsel on you, and they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, that your true identity, so-called black man, may be no more in remembrance. That is why blacks walking all around Trinidad, Hispanics coming in from Venezuela, Native Indians in Santa Rosa and reservations, they don't know who they are. Because the name of Israel, SHALAM, is no more in remembrance. Black people do not know who they is. Hispanics do not know who they is. Native Indians do not know who they is. That is why black people in all different types of religion, believing that they're serving God, but really and truly, they don't know God. Verse 5, sorry. For they have consulted together with one consent. All these other nations, all these other races, they come together with one consent, one mindset, right? They have confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. When they read the Bible, they're going to see words like Edom, which is the so-called white man. They're going to see words like Elam, which is the East Indians. You're going to see words like Moab and Ammon, which is the Chinese and the Japanese. So now, if your religious leader is telling you that in the Christian church, when you read it, you're going to understand who you're reading about. You're going to understand it now. But they say they have taken crafty counsel. And then they say the tabernacles of Edom, which is the so-called white man, reading from verse 6, and the Ishmaelites, which is the Arabs, of Moab and the Hagarenes. You understand? Which is the filthy Africans, the Chinese and the Africans. Gobal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. I.S.U.P.K also is joined with them. All these nations come together to oppress you, so-called black man. Where are you going and learn that? You will never hear that in your life. And of course, they're not teaching black history in the school curriculum. From preschool up, going right up, the only thing you're going to hear about, you're going to hear in the schools is about slavery and how slavery ended. But they're not going to hear what they're hearing here today. That these other nations, they come together and take crafty counsel against the so-called black man. Don't feel it happening in your workplace. Don't feel it happening in the school system. Don't feel it happening between politicians and religious leaders. These other nations took crafty counsel on you, so-called black man, on that bigger scale of destroying your nation, of destroying your people. Right? I.S.U.P.K also joined with them. They have helped on the children of Lot, Salah. Right? We will stop right there. But this showing a so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, that these nations have taken crafty counsel against you. Now let me get into the video. Right? I want to show you this video. It's very important that the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man take a look at this video, right? 1 minute back of a shot. 1 minute. Right. Now we have 2 videos, but here is the thing. Just for time's sake, I don't think it's 8 o'clock already. For time's sake, I feel I will bring the next video, maybe next week. If another brother teaching, I'll try to bring it back as soon, right? But I want to watch this first video. I just want to play a few minutes of it before we really play the video. I want to show the so-called black man about why it is important for us to have a common enemy and the reason why black people are supposed to fight to come away from the traditions of this world, to come away from these other nations and join with the people. Join with their own people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know, we might be saying, hey, we always join with black people and we always have an enemy on the inside. We always have some other nation, some other race mixed up in it. That is where the fall of the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man happen. Not inside here, not in the I.S.U.P.K. This school only for black people. Black people of all ages. You could be in the womb, and it could be 99 or 100 years old. This school is for you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian. Right? That's not right. I'll drop this first video. Hold on 1 minute back to the shot. Now, in this video, zoom up now. Right? All of the videos are video that's circling through the internet. Right? I don't want to show the person face still. Because when you hear the whole story in this video, I just want to give a few minutes for you to understand what is happening in these churches. So I don't want the face, so you can barely see the person face, right? But it's all over the internet. Right? I want to make sure boom, you see in this video good. Alright, nice. So there we go. So that yeah, give me 1 minute Bible question, I'll the box stuff. Alright, so we're good, right? This is a count right in Trinidad, right? That young lady in the Christian church. Let's play a few minutes and then we're going to jump to the video showing the craftiness of the Christian church and the so-called white man who's the oppressor, right?
I was about like 7 or 8 years old when this happened. I was about like 7 or 8 years old when this happened, and Uncle talk. When Matthias didn't talk, so he was talking, and he was very, he tell you you're going inside to pray, and he tell the others to wait outside, and when you go inside, he closed it and come off. He just pulled on the underwear. The underwear was off. And there was this one time, we went to bathe, and while I was in the bathroom, he came in with me, and he sat down and put me on top of him. When we heard about this situation now, to be honest with you, I thought that my sister and I were the only person that needed to. And when we saw the video, we were in shock because when she sent it to me, we were like, couldn't believe it. And God alone knows how many women went through that. And basically, he was no womanizer, Brother Matthias. He was a pedophile. His children he interfered with, not big women. Because my mother was there, why you didn't interfere with my mom? Why?
Alright, I will stop that there right here, right? But what's true here is that these are the things that happen in the Christian church towards the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You understand? When you send your children to these churches and they feel they safe, these religious leaders, they're taking advantage of your children. You understand? They think they're taking advantage of you, so-called black man, because they're not representing the Most High. They're not representing God. And you go into these religious leaders because you want to sincerely serve the Most High. You want to sincerely serve the Lord. And look at what's happening to our black men. Well, look what's happening to our black women. Look what's happening to the children. You understand? But again, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, we're going to go into this in another class, right? But I just bring that to show you the nasty things that is be happening to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. The nasty things that is be happening in these Christian churches. These Christian churches are supposed to be representing one another. These Christian churches are supposed to be one body. Because Christ said there's only one body. But that shows you, so-called black man, that these religious leaders, these churches, is not there for the so-called black man. These religious leaders, these churches is not showing you the things of the Lord. It is not of the Most High. You understand? Now, we're going to show the crafty counsel of these other nations. We're going to show the crafty counsel of the so-called white man and these oppressors. Listen carefully. Watch this video.
Education became a universal right in 1948. For years before that, the church was advocating in favor of education. In fact, the Catholic Church took it upon itself to educate the masses. In 1859, it opened schools in Nigeria. Starting in the 1880s, it operated boarding schools in Canada. In 1606, in America. Was all of this philanthropy? Not so much. These schools were built on an agenda. They were meant to break down indigenous societies, pave the way for divine sanctioned conquest, justify colonialism, and spread Catholicism. The church killed many students in this process. Infuriating opinion? I'm only stating facts. Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus and Balkisha Naupadhyay. In May, the remains of 215 children were found in Canada, in South British Columbia to be specific. These remains were students of the Campbell's Indian Residential School. It was Canada's largest residential school. It was run by the Catholic Church. At least 500 indigenous students lived in this school at any given time. How did some of the students die? You'll soon find out. In June, 751 unmarked graves were discovered. This time it was near the Medieval Indian Residential School. This school too was controlled by the Roman Catholic Church. How did some of its students die? In June again, the remains of another 182 people were found. This was near the grounds of a school called St. Eugene's Mission. This school too was controlled by the Roman Catholic Church. Why were human remains found in its grounds? In July, 160 unmarked graves were found. It was near the Cooper Island Industrial School. This school too was operated by the Roman Catholic Church. All of these were Canada's residential schools for indigenous children. At least 70% of these schools were operated by the Roman Catholic Church. The fund came from the government. The church's responsibility was to assimilate indigenous children into the dominant culture. How did the church do that? By destroying their cultures and languages. It began in 1883. Canada's first Prime Minister, John A. Macdonald, authorized the creation of these schools. Starting in 1920, these schools were made compulsory for indigenous children between the ages of 7 and 15. Many children were snatched away from their parents and put in these schools. What happened once they got to these boarding schools? Children were stripped of all things associated with their native culture, from their language to their religion to their long hair, the source of pride for many native people. It was cut short. They were not allowed to wear traditional clothes. They were forced to speak English or French. If they spoke their native languages, they were punished, beaten, shamed, deprived of food. Most of these children were forbidden from meeting their parents. This was their punishment for being native. These children were told that they were dirty Indians. Their rooms were poorly eaten. The students did not have access to trained medical staff. They were often physically and sexually abused. Many of these students ran away. At least 6,000 of them died. How did they die? No one knows. Many of their bodies never returned home. The parents were informed only after the burial. By 1945, the death rate of children at Canada's residential schools was 5 times higher than the rest of the school children in the country. These children who died were all from indigenous tribes, the First Nations, the Métis, the Inuits. What happened to them was genocide. It's a term that's normally associated with Hitler or Xi Jinping's China. Well, the church too is guilty of genocide, of cultural genocide, of killing indigenous children, scarring thousands of others for life. Who knew about it? Everyone. Do you believe it? In 2015, a report published by Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission said, and I'm quoting, government, church, and school officials were all aware of these failures and their impact on student health. If the question is, who knew what, when? The clear answer is, everyone in authority at any point in the system's history. The church was destroying families in broad daylight, and this was happening outside Canada too. The church was vilifying native culture, destroying spirituality in the name of education. In the United States, Catholic priests partnered with authorities to colonize Native Americans. In Africa, the church had paved the way for colonization. The Catholic Church acted as an agent of the state. It contributed to the dispossession of the indigenous people. It helped Imperial Britain build, control, and acquire new colonies. In sub-Saharan Africa, the British were happy to pay for children to attend mission schools. These schools were expected to make the people of Africa more governable and create workers and consumers for the empire. Here's a study by Laurel A. London. It says, in Trinidad and Tobago, the curriculum is designed with the intention to promote obedience, order, and punctuality.
Let me listen to that again, right?
And create workers and consumers for the empire. Here's a study by Laurel A. London. It says, in Trinidad and Tobago, the curriculum is designed with the intention to promote obedience, order, and punctuality. Also, the willingness to occupy the lowest rungs of the job and societal structure. The Catholic.
I wanted to listen to that again, one more time, Baba Kushya.
And create workers and consumers for the empire. Here's a study by Laurel A. London. It says, in Trinidad and Tobago, the curriculum is designed with the intention to promote obedience, order, and punctuality. Also, the willingness to occupy the lowest rungs of the job and societal structure. The Catholic Church established primary schools in colonial northern Peru in the 18th century. Do you know why? To turn rebellious subjects into dutiful citizens of the Spanish Empire. Here's a research paper called White Teachers and the Good Governance of Indigenous Souls. It argues that in southern Australia, missionary education was aimed at securing a racial hierarchy. Students were repeatedly schooled and widely driven. The scholar writes, the missionary was quote-unquote implicated in extending a system of disciplinary control over unarmed bodies, minds, and souls, unarmed indigenous people. The question is, why was the church acting like an agent of the state? The answer to that goes back to the Roman Empire. After Romans adopted Catholicism, the church became interwoven with the notion of divine sanctioned conquest. The Roman Catholic Church took it upon itself to spread Christianity, to convert indigenous people. The age of discovery came with an opportunity, and the church became a major part of and a justification for colonization. Colonial powers claimed that they were trying to civilize the masses. The church agreed. I'm not saying the Catholic Church has zero contribution to education. It has helped set up schools in third world countries, made education affordable in developing countries. In many cases, especially in Africa, missions set up formal schools even before governments did. But all of this was not without vested interest. Let me give you some more examples. In southern Nigeria, the Church Missionary Society helped educate the Igbo women. In India, missionaries developed many schools for females. In Korea, where women were excluded from formal education, it was a Methodist missionary that established the country's first formal education institution for women. This was back in 1886. But for the church, education for women did not have anything to do with gender equality. The focus was on male interests and needs. The focus was on furthering Christianity. The church believed that educated women could provide practical support to men, also help raise their children as better Christians. Girls were taught separately from boys, taught by female teachers with emphasis on sewing. Not much has changed over the years, by the way. The church has refused to change with the times. It is the 21st century, and you know that the Vatican is the only country in the world where women are still not allowed to vote. As for what happened in Canada's residential schools, the Catholic Church has still not apologized. I'll leave you with a question. Does the church have the moral right to lecture young kids on anything after all this?
Now, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, it have a lot in that video. Hold on a minute, let's pull back this camera. Yeah. It have a lot in that video going there. You understand? And you seeing as a people whereby these churches, the things that they do to the native Indians people, which is a part of the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You seeing the things that they did to black children. These churches, these religious leaders, these institutions that are under the hands of the so-called white man, they are not a place where black people supposed to be in. They studying the lust of their belly. They studying the lust of their flesh. You understand? Watch how much native Indians was unalive during the years like just 2021, 2022. Watch the case studies that they did on our people. We have to understand that these white people, these Edomites according to the Bible, these nations, they studying you, so-called black man. They studied you from over the years. And they know exactly what will keep you at the bottom of this society. You understand? You see the case studies they did right here in Trinidad and all? With the school curriculum. And when you watch black people in Trinidad, we still at the bottom. Black people in America, in Barbados, in all the different islands, they still at the bottom of society. You understand? And we living in Trinidad, we living in these different places, we don't know how to rise out of that situation. But the Lord knows. The Lord gave you these records through your forefathers, through the hands of Moses to give to you. And we in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we are here to teach the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, teach them right back into their culture. Teach them all their history. Teach them how to raise children. Teach them how to be with their wives. Teach them how to treat their brothers. You understand? These other nations, they don't have no laws to govern them. The Bhagavad Gita and the Egyptian Book of the Dead and all these different things, that is not for the so-called black man. The Bible shows you your rich culture, your rich history. And you can back it up with different archaeological facts and different historical books. You understand? And these churches was not set up for the black man. These churches is to abuse your children, abuse your wives, abuse your husband. That's how we just say the crafty counsel in these churches, the crafty counsel with this enemy. You understand? It's things like triangulation. And when they're done triangulated, they bring into a sense of you're guessing yourself, they bring into a sense of self-loathing. Self-loathing. You're not going to start to feel by way. Why this happening to me, by? You're going to church, looking for the answers. Start to bring it down, start to break it down mentally. That is crafty counsel. That is slippery, sly counsel. But in the I.S.U.P.K, once you start reading these words, start understanding these other nations, you're going to see, you're going to learn about these different tactics that the white man have, that he uses to destroy his people. Ask him a question. Go and ask a Christian pastor that question, and you will see what start happening there. Tune you out. Sit down good and watch the Christian church. You're reading the Bible, learning from the I.S.U.P.K, and just watch back at the Christian church. Watch back at the things you went through in the church. And you're going to see how inside the Christian church is triangulation like rain. We outside looking, we could see it. We understand the wiles of the oppressor. We understand the wiles of the Christian church, these religious leaders and politicians. We feel it happening in the politics too. You understand? You feel it happening in the politics too. All these politicians, sometimes when they don't triangulate you so-called black man in the Christian church or in the Muslim mosque, social media or through politics, start going against one another. Why you start going against one another is the question you have to ask. I feel I might have to make a part 2 in this class because most of the time, 8:23. You understand? And I challenge blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians looking into the class. Start to understand. First of all, start looking into the I.S.U.P.K some more. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start looking in on them some more. You understand? Start learning your culture, start learning your heritage, start learning the basic things that you're supposed to be doing as a people. Because of course, there will be people over you. There will be shepherds over you that the Lord say He is going to send. You understand? That is going to guide you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, from these evils that is outside. You understand? Now let me start looking up some words, right? That is very important that the black, Hispanic, and Native man should learn. So now, one of the most subtle things that religious leaders like to use, they use something called triangulation, right? I tell you, when you're outside and you're looking in, they can see it. Now let me look up the meaning of the word triangulation, right? Triangulation, a tactic that involves using indirect communication to divide and conquer. That is exactly what happened in the Christian church. You understand? Let me continue on. It can be used to manipulate or control situations or to exacerbate conflict. For example, a caregiver might triangulate by playing children off each other. This is what happens in the Christian church to keep you, so-called black man, joined to your Christian pastor. So now, in the church, you ain't realizing, but wait now, I forget God. Listen how the Christians is talk. Pastor say this, pastor say that, pastor the other. And you know what happening? You ain't realizing that your mind messed up. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. The pastor don't even have to ask you no more to pay tithes. Guaranteed. He don't have to ask you no more to pay tithes. You know why? Because when he done with you, when he done triangulate your brain, nigga, you doing that willingly. And in the event, you start asking the Christian pastor questions. But look, I pay so much tithes. What going on? He wants to and tell you, I never tell you pay tithes. I'm telling you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, the I.S.U.P.K is the place to be. This is one of the sweetest places to be right now on the planet Earth. To boast about that. You understand? Because you're learning from priests and prophets of the Lord, not learning from men on the outside with their isms and schisms. You understand? That is how serious it is, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. It's time for us to get up, wake up, fight. It's time for us to understand the common enemy, which is these other nations, the oppressor, the so-called white man. Start to understand the tactics. How could the Christian church be in the ghetto and not helping the ghetto? How could the Muslim mosque be in the ghetto and not helping the ghetto? And I'm not talking about the help when Christmas reach, we start driving around and handing out toys. I'm not talking about that kind of help. I'm talking about the help whereby infrastructures is being put in place to help black people. to help Hispanics, to help Native Indians, to help the Venezuelans that are coming across and dying and drowning on the seas and in rivers, trying to reach in Trinidad or different places, Colombia, Guyana, for a better life, because the white man oppressing their country, because he can't get the oil or the gas, whatever the case might be. You understand? These is the things so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Indian man, you have to start to watch. Now you could narrow it down. You're watching for your nation, but you also have to watch for your people. And when I say people, I'm talking about you can narrow it down and start to look at different jobs. What really happening in the job, in your job scope? It might be a doctor, it might be a lawyer, it might be a chef. You understand? It might be these menial jobs. Security, you're working in a clothes store, you understand? And all these different things. Start to watch and observe. Start to watching the school systems. You understand? You start looking at these religious leaders. You start looking at these politicians and realizing they're triangulating black people, which is a tactic of our oppressor. You understand? Because he wants control over you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. But come in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding GEN.YAHANNA, you're going to learn. But to be humble, come in here, do your 90 days, you hush your mouth. You understand? Silent, zip it, and start learning day by day, month by month, year by year, start learning. You understand? So when you go back out in the open, you will realize the things that is a possibility you're going to face outside. You understand? That's one word you want to look up, right? We're going again. Next one, self-loathing. What is self-loathing? Also known as self-hatred. It is a feeling of intense dislike or criticism of oneself. Listen carefully. It can involve a constant belief of being unworthy or inadequate. You understand? Trust me. These things, Dan, watch it good. You understand? Watch it good and you go see. These religious leaders, politicians, bring into a state of self. You start doubting yourself. But wait now. Wait, hold on. Because they want you to wear something, that you're not supposed to be wearing. Lord said in his records, Dan, put on the whole armor of God. Salakia, 1 minute. Let me just check the door about a question. Somebody at the door. Yeah. Salakia, that's what I'm check the door there, right? So now, the way you know to start doubting yourself. You understand? When you start doubting yourself, now you have to hold on to the Christian pastor. Now you have to hold on to the church. Because you know why? All the time in the church, you're not reading the Bible. You understand? You not reading it, Christian pastor not teaching you the right thing. When they come into the I.S.U.P.K, you start learning. You start looking out for the wiles of these other nations. You understand? And I guarantee if you do that in the Christian church, whole night I say this, if you do that in the Christian church, boom, they're going to throw you up. Immediately. They're going to throw you up after they don't triangulate and create a sense of self-loathing with a million types of manipulation. And it is be so subtle, you're going to doubt it. you're going to doubt how subtle these religious leaders and pastors is. You understand? What the Most High tells so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Sit down, I'm sending all you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. And we all know the connection between wolves and sheep. Wolves do bite nice. You understand? Not biting nice. And even if a wolf have to wait in hiding until he devours a prey, he's going to do it. He is going to do it. And that is why we're telling so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, get out the Christian church. Get out the Muslim mosque. Run into the I.S.U.P.K. Start putting on the whole armor of God. Start covering yourself with the covering that the Most High wanted to cover with. You understand? This is how serious it is. It make me remember the game, this game called chess. You understand? And in that game of chess, it have different pieces with different moves it's supposed to make. And when you watch how that game is structured, watch back at the Christian church. Then it have different numbers, it have knights and bishops, but you see the ones to the front, the pawn, shit, casualties of war then. Casualties of war. Black man, you have to fight. You have to get up in the morning and face the east just as the scriptures tell you to do. You have to do everything the Lord wants you to do. You have to get up, face the east, and pray. And ask the Lord to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And getting that wisdom, you're going to see so-called black man, how you will be able to start discerning and judging and seeing different matters. You understand? Because of course, look at the video we played just a little while ago with the woman. She and his sister, a pastor, touching the little children, not touching, but having relations with these children right here in Trinidad. And that's only two accounts that I bring here today. What about the millions that happening that is unaccounted for? You understand? But again, so-called black man, we have to understand how serious it is at this time. And how serious it is for us to come out of the Christian church and the Muslim mosque. The Lord tells us in the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, if you can get it from a Baba Kusha. The Lord tells us in Zephaniah 2 and 1 to do something which is of utmost importance to the so-called black man. This is not time to be playing. This is not time to be hopping and jumping and beating tambourine. Because you are in the middle of a war. A very, very serious war. And black man, you have to fight. The Lord says, we are one body, one spirit. You have to understand, so-called black man, you have to be in that one body and get that one spirit. Because all day, it's biting nice. But it's a beautiful thing to see when you come in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA, how you're going to start learning the wiles of these enemies. Because when you watch you come to the woman and the pastor, you're going to see whereby if she had to give a story of what had happened to her to one person, that was it. That was it. She gave the story to the next pastor that will not sweep under the rug. And it's going to continue with different children. And these children growing up, being big women, and still toting that self-loading on them. They're going to get married, but they still have that self-loathing on them. They still have that triangulation on them. You understand? Still have that manipulation in the mind. They can't function. And one of the things that the Christian church they love to do is make sure, you understand, that once a year you challenge them in any way, they're going to make sure that nobody in that church, when they throw you out, you're going to make sure that nobody in that church can help you with shit. So now you're on your own, but not in here. In here, you have brothers throughout the four corners of the earth in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. All they have to do, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and the given man, pick up your phone. You have brothers, you have sisters. The Christian church, they don't love one another. They don't love one another in the Christian church. They don't love one another in the Muslim mosque. They don't love one another in the mandir. And whatever black groups they have, they don't. You understand? Start learning the wiles of the enemy. Start learning the wiles of a Christian pastor. You understand? When they throw you out, they're making sure you get no help. So now you have to do what? Crawl back. And when you crawl back, same thing will not happen again. Because one thing that you're going to learn with our oppressor, after a while, our oppressing people going to lose that empathy. They're going to lose that empathy, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. And they try to make you going to look like the mad one. You're going to look like the crazy one. You're going to look like the jealous and envy the pastor. For what? For what? Come on, wake up. So-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. No, it's not time for that. Get yourself in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. Start learning your rules, your laws, your culture, your rich history. Start fighting to stop doing the things that they used to do. You understand? Salakia, start fighting against the things that they used to do. You used to smoke, just try and hold it up. You used to be a whoremonger, try your best. Don't go back there. You're eating crab, shrimp, lobster. The Lord said don't do that. Try and don't do that. So-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. These is the rules. These is the laws. These is the things that the Lord wants us to do. And then the Lord say you fight for Him, He's going to fight for you. You're going to see changes in your life you're never going to see. You're never going to see in the Christian church. But the Lord tell me to do this so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Where am I?
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
What?
Gather yourselves together.
And this is what the Lord wants us to do. The Lord wants so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to gather themselves together. This is not time to be played. This is not time to be stick up between your pastor and the Christian church and the Muslim mosque. This is not time to be watching the Egyptian Book of the Dead and talking about aliens and Pleiadians and reptilians. This is not about that. It's time for you to get yourself right, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. It's time for you to know God. It's time for you to know His Son Christ, Yahweh in Hebrew. It's time for you to know this Bible, which is not a white man book, which was not written by a white man, which was put together by a council of 40 scholars. We're going to be my guy in that next class too. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kushar.
Come. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
And the Lord is showing you, so-called black man, that you are this nation that is not desired. You understand? All these things happening in the Christian church and the Muslim mosque, it's showing you that you is the nation not desired. Look at what's happening to our brothers and sisters all over the globe. All this brutality. You understand? hangings in 2023, 2024. You see, when Trump wants to mass deport blacks, Hispanics, and you is that nation that is not desired by these other races, because they have taken crafty counsel against you, so-called black man. The crafty counsel is not to bring you together with them, to join with them. The crafty counsel is to get rid of you. That is the another Bible question. You might go to Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you have a nice, rich history in this Bible. Words of wisdom. Words for you to be able to see things that you wouldn't see if any Christian church, if any Muslim mosque. In the I.S.U.P.K, have counsels done. With any problem you have, any issue, just call. You want to find out anything about the Bible, just call. Sometimes you ain't have a problem and they're calling you. Your brother's calling you, hey, where's the seed? Everything good? Right, good. That is how it's supposed to be with black people. You understand? Go ahead, what's that like?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority.
When the what?
When the righteous are in authority.
And this is what you have to know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. When the righteous is in authority, you understand? The righteous is not the so-called white man. The righteous is not the East Indians. The righteous is not the Chinese or the Japanese. The righteous is not the Syrians. The Lord is letting you know when the righteous. The laws was given to one people, black people. When black people is in authority, go ahead.
The people rejoice.
What?
The people rejoice.
The what?
The people rejoice.
The people is going to rejoice. You understand? And I'm not talking about when black people like how it is in the politics right now. Nah. When the Lord's kingdom is established, when black people is ruling, with these same laws, statutes, and commandments from in the Bible, the people is going to rejoice, because now you're going to have righteous judgment. Now you're going to have order. Now you're going to have no man sleeping with another man's wife. Now you're not going to have hoes. Now you're not going to have drugs in communities and guns. Now you'll be able to sleep and walk around the place in peace. Now as they hear 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock reach now, boom, everybody out of the way. Free to stay out. Can't even stay out and just drink a beer with your brethren and them and just vibes. You understand? Go ahead.
But when the wicked beareth rule.
But what?
But when the wicked beareth rule.
But when the wicked beareth rule. Who is ruling the earth right now? The Lord, tell us paraphrasing, the Lord has said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who is the wicked one on the earth right now? It's plain to see. Everybody can see it. The so-called white man, the Edomites, the Caucasians. You understand? This is the one that changed laws and times and seasons, just as it's recorded in the Bible. This is the one that changed the image of Christ and gave you a white one. And said, that is what black people are supposed to be worshiping. Go ahead.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
But what?
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. You understand? Once the wicked is in authority, the people is going to mourn. He's the one with the control. He's the one that could bust sanctions. He's the one that could triangulate it. He's the one that could put self-loading on it. He's the one to manipulate. The people is going to mourn. He's the one that could say, I don't want a rice going down there. Cut off that cargo ship from going so. Jack up the price of the US dollar. You understand what I'm showing you? Once the wicked is in authority, people is going to mourn. But black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, man, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, Babusha. But black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, all that is going to change in a minute. But you have to make sure that you're on the right side. You have to make sure that you're on the Lord's side, following the Lord's statutes, the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. Because in a minute things will not change. And I think it's going to be nice. You got to make sure you're in right standing with the Lord. The priests and prophets out say, what are you looking for? A priest and prophet to be in a shirt and a tie. You understand? Nice hairdo, shiny shoes. Wrong place, wrong person. Priests and prophets in the I.S.U.P.K. Priests and prophets looking like me and you. And brothers are seen on the street in the I.S.U.P.K. all over the world. Haiti and Jamaica and Trinidad. Following what the Lord tells me to do in the I.S.U.P.K. Come on, it's one body. All these fake Israelite groups that all over the place, spirit of the white man. Spirit of deception and manipulation. They covered in that spirit. They're not in the body of the Lord. They're not in the body of Christ. You understand? Go ahead, Baba Kusha.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
Never do what?
Never trust thine enemy.
This is what the Lord wants you to know, so-called black man. Never trust your enemy. And you know who your enemies are. These other nations is not your friends. Go ahead.
For like as iron rusted.
Just like how iron is rust. You see a piece of iron anyway. It's short to rust. No matter how you get red oxide, green oxide here, it's short to rust. But just like iron rusted, go ahead.
So is his wickedness.
It's going to come. So is his wickedness. It's sure to happen. That is what the Lord talking about the Edomite, so-called white man. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself.
Though he humble himself.
And go crouching.
And go crouching. All right.
Yet will take good heed and beware of him.
Nice. Do he humble himself? Go crouching. The Lord is telling him, take good heed at him. Nah, everything good, my brother. Or we will send down some oils for you and some rice and palm oil. And the Lord said, take good heed of him. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be unwilling, as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
And thou will be what?
And thou shalt be unwilling.
And thou shalt be unto him.
As if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
As if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. Clear. Seeing that white man. You are constantly watching. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
And when you're continually looking, you're going to see, but wait now. Oh, your rust in wipe away. Your wickedness is gone. Right? You understand? You make Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 and we'll close up for that. You understand? Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man have to fight every day. They get yourself in the I.S.U.P.K. to learn about the law, statutes, and commandments. And when you learn it, you have to fight to keep it. Fight. Fight. Life is about war. Things going to happen. But you have to fight. Nobody going to fight for you. They can give you assistance. They can show you the tools. But you have to be the one to fight. Right now, these are the tools. Don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Don't sleep with your brother wife. Don't celebrate Christmas and Easter. Right? You learn that, right? Now it's you to fight. You understand? And when you watch around and you see that other brothers and sisters fighting with you, glorious. Glorious. You understand? Not like the Christian church, everybody does rock back. Christian pastor that's raping them. Rape. You understand? Rape. I ain't talking about physical raping. Psychological rape. It's raping. I'm talking about physical rape alone. So you understand? When you have it, go ahead, Baba Kusha.
Come. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
And this is what you have to understand, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter in all that you hear. Go ahead.
Fear God.
What?
Fear God.
We as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian man, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to fear the Most High. We have no other choice. You understand? The Lord is letting you know, fear the Lord. Go ahead.
And keep his commandment.
And do what?
And keep his commandment.
And keep the Most High's commandments. The book of, I think the book of John is saying, he that said he know the Most High and does not keep his commandments is a liar. That's paraphrasing. But this is the conclusion of the whole matter. We as a people, we have to fear the Lord. You understand? Fear the Lord and keep the Most High commandments. You understand? And with that, I will say shalom. You understand? This brings us to the end of the class. Again, this is the I.S.U.P.K. which started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Again, the next high holy day, which we supposed to be celebrating as a people. This high holy day is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. No other nation. You understand? The next upcoming high holy day is the Feast of the Dedication, which is Hanukkah in the Hebrew. You can find that in the book of Maccabees, 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. Sometimes you might open your Bible, if you have a King James Version Bible, when we open it, you realize we title on Maccabees is because there's a part of the Bible that was removed by the Christian church. You understand? That part of it is called the Apocrypha. It's a book that is between the Old and the New. And inside there shows and it continues the history of the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. It shows the captivity when we was under the Greeks. It's the same captivity we are under now under the so-called white man. You understand? And with that, I pass the class over to Prison Officer Michael.
This is the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. Means cents in the Hebrew and it's pronounced Maisha. 10% of every penny of any if the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Preach fund. Period offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. The upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, which is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which will be Wednesday, the 25th December 2024. For 8 days. You can find this in Maccabees chapter 4, verses 52 to 61. Remind I.S.U.P.K and I.S.U.P.K to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like headbands or scarves. And with that, you see, I imagine you're going to turn and face east, And we're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shamashamaya, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malapaka, Kaba'a, Matazaka, Ayah, I.S.U.P.K, Barakasa, Kawa, Ayah, Mashamaya, the thunder now, the cup, the wall, Wasalakno, Kawawatno, Kasalakno, Kawawatno, Wala'a, Tabianawa, Wansayawan, Abad, Shine, Mayan, Right, Ayah, Laka, Amalakwa, Watapara, I will love you, Aman.
What we just said in English, oh Father,
Father,
in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
We're going to say the Hakak, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Kusha, Thunder now, Hakak, Rapha, Kalmalawo, Hakak, Matazaria, Hakak, Hamate, Irakawa, Tamayala, Hashem, Yahushai, Waraman.
What we just said in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Salam. What we just said in English, Yahweh, the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power, for to heal all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, for to cleanse the leper, for to raise the dead, for against unclean spirits, cast them out. In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you. So be it. You want to say the blessings in Hebrew. Rakata Yahweh, Yahushai, Amakala, Wa'alahayo, Matazabia, Alawapia, Asaranya, Akpatazaya, Makayalian, Wa'akwapia, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Wa'aman.
What we just said in English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, Michael, the angel, commanding general, general, captain, officer, trooper, and the sister, Yahweh, the name of Yahushai. Thank you.
So be it.
We will say the prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, all things living, Yahweh, the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen, speak against us, like prophets, teacher, princes, priests, the Israelite brother, and the school. Send evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen, shake loose, treasure, the rich of Israel, and refuse to give to the school, force their riches, enter into thy sanctuary, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the Edomite, and the nation, and their drug dealer, court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemy, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinhead, Fuzzy Komatazi, gay movement, lesbian movement, spy, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the area, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit, any of thy people, seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction, all the heathen, stand in the way, trying to stop us, from broadcasting your word, through the planet, let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro, through the earth, consume them, let the plague, shake the house of the chief, and the murder, Yahushai, Michael, Gabriel, come down with the flying saucer, punish all the
and
heathen.
punish all the heathen.
Come up against us.
Come against us.
Speak thy
As
word.
we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by
All
all.
to be known by all.
The angel that have done
That
it.
is the angel that have done
Cause
it.
it to be spread.
Cause to be spread
To the media.
to the media.
Throughout the whole
Throughout the
world.
whole world.
Cause it to shake and thy
Cause
coming.
it to shake and I
In
come.
the name of Yahushua.
Name of Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always. So be it. We'll say, bless Israel. In the Hebrew, Yahweh,
Power.
Bashem, Yahushai, Raphanau, Shalom, Abayat, Safari, Barak, Rapah, Magan,
Commanding General.
Commanding General,
All the generals.
General,
Captain.
the officers, the troopers,
All the destroyed of Israel.
all the destroyed of Israel,
Kayavana.
Kayavana, Raktabash, Shariah,
Kintian family.
Indian family,
Muslim family.
Muslim family,
Kutu family.
Kutu family,
Philip family.
Philip family,
I.S.U.P.K. Trinidad family.
I.S.U.P.K. family, Commanding General,
Commanding General.
General, Captain, officers, troopers, sisters, children, all the destroyed of Israel,
All the destroyed of Israel.
and all those fighting to come to the truth.
All those fighting to come into the truth.
Bashem, Yahushai, for what
Aman. What we just said, the English, Lord, in the name of
name of
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
bless us,
and Israel,
and the school,
bless,
heal,
shield,
protect,
loved one, our loved one,
name of Yahushua.
name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Sir, men of Israel, let's give the teacher a 150 salute. Amanda Shabbat, Mario, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua B'Katar,
How about Shem Yahushua B'Katar?
Yan Yahushua, class dismissed.